What's going on, guys? Before we do this last GT1 solo video, please let me know what you guys think of the quality. Change the audio around a little bit, and I think it worked out better. That being said, I realized I had 3 of the 4 GT1 cars. So we got F1. I got this in Daytona, Florida. R390 roll car. Shout out to Dom, because he gave me this one. And then CLK LM, another one Dom gave me. So shout out to Dom. But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get this out the way. Went flying just like the CLR did. What's going on, guys? Today we are on Automobilista 2. We're going to finish our GT1 series. And I'll probably do something with the lap times, but the final car in the GT1 class. So you got McLaren F1, 911 GT1, R390, and then my personal favorite, CLK LM. It also has the most interesting story behind it. One thing I love about this car in particular is how aggressive the arrow is on the front of it. They're like, yeah, we don't even try to add some canards like normal modern cars do. They're just like, just put a little F1 mini wing on it, and I'm sure you can adjust the angle of the dual elements on the front of the car. But it's honestly the craziest GT1 class story out of all of the stories, and it's my favorite to drive too. So there is your high downforce version, and pull up the low downforce version. You go to Le Mans and pull up the low downforce version. We're gonna do the same thing here, where our mini wings are gone here. The angle is a little bit less steep, and then obviously this portion right here, it's basically flat. But yeah, it's the most interesting story of the GT1 class for sure. We're gonna keep it time accurate. We'll go Silverstone 2001, so stay tuned. All right. Silverstone 2001. Now, I told you guys this was my favorite story behind the GT1 class. So, what makes you say that, David? I guess the first thing is just how the lengths they went to go to like make sure this car was fast. So basically, Mercedes was dominating DTM, and then DTM closed and it ended. So then, they have all this extra money but nowhere to go. While at the same time, McLaren F1 had won Le Mans 95. Then the 911 GT1 came out after that, and they were like, okay, we can do this same, like we can do it. Crazy part is how fast they built this car. So I want to say it was 120 days, 90 days, but basically Christmas got canceled and they got to work on it. But they had to find a way to speed up the development time. I do not know this 2001 Silverstone like I used to. So Mercedes, they actually went and bought an F1 GTR and basically took it apart, put their own engine in it, and like that was the starting point. And it's just crazy to think about, like, they're and I didn't know this for a very long time. There are pictures of it. Um, they took it to a track and crashed it, put the F1 body panels back on the engine, and we will never know what chassis number that is. Basically, that goes to show like how serious they were. You know, they're like, all right, let's just take the best car and make it better. But you know, Porsche really started the homologation special with the 911 GT1 and Mercedes. Oh, I don't know this track, guys. It's been a while since I've driven it. But basically, that's how we got the CLK GTR. It was literally an F1 redesign with Mercedes spin on it. And as the series evolved and GT1 got crazier and crazier, so in '97 it was the CLK GTR, which had a naturally aspirated V12, and that was that was the first one. And I just completely cut the track. But, that was the first one. And then you have this car, which is the CLK LM. Now the CLK LM has the Group C 5-liter V8. Now why did they take a V12 out and put the V8 in? One, for reliability, and two, it wasn't like this. The class required you to make 900 horsepower. So they're like, we can make it with the V8 without the turbos and save some fuel. So the CLK LM, which is what I'm driving now, actually has a 5-liter in a V8. And then you had the CLR, which is the car that flips. Now stall me out with this CLK LM, GTR, all that. So the CLR has a 5.7-liter V8. The most extreme looking version, no doubt. Like, it's easy to mistake the GTR and the LM, especially the road cars. The only difference is like a vent on them. But you're not gonna mistake the CLR for anything else just because it's the one that flipped over, right? If you look at them, it's like an upside down wing. I read an article from Speed Hunters back in the day about why that went flying. The Porsche was less extreme than the CLR was, and even that one flipped over. And now that's why all of these modern cars have shark fins. But I thought it was just a really interesting story. Don't mind my dog. I thought it was just a really interesting story that we're gonna take this F1, take it apart. Porsche did it first to beat McLaren. So we're gonna buy McLaren F1, take it apart, open her up, and make it better. And the cars actually were really dominant. The GTR had a couple issues the first couple of races, but once that thing got figured out, it didn't lose. And then I watch a lot of GT1 races, like I always turn it on at the house or whatever. And it's no surprise that everyone dropped out because, you know, you watch the races from '98, the LM version is just dominating the grid, but the older GTR, which is the V12 version, which I really wish was in this game as well, it actually was beating the 911 GT1s. So you had a customer GTR beating the works team GT1. I think that just goes to show how insane this thing was. One thing that I wanted to note before I ended my lap is you can tell this V8. So the fifth gear, as you see, I'm in it right now. It's actually not as sixth gear in this car is more like a fuel saving gear, and this is where the McLaren has its advantage, I think. It goes all the way. This damn hairpin boy. It goes all the way through the sixth gear. The McLaren uses every single RPM, while fifth gear, this is like a full second gear. But it still pulls, as you can see. But anyway, it's my favorite car in the class, just based off the fluency of it all, and with it being a V8, nothing beats a simple V8, man. The other stuff is cool, but I've really grown to appreciate a good V8 with the sim racing stuff. Only a 5 liter. It's not big enough to rip your head off, but it definitely has some power. So we're gonna go ahead and end this lap. Same thing. I'm gonna go to Le Mans and record how fast it's Alright guys, that is a wrap. I don't think I'm done with the series yet because I really want to sit down and fully explore how fast I can go. 15 minutes in traffic. That's not enough time, but I did go 345, which is weird. Like when I drive a class of cars, my timing is usually the same with them. It's rare where a car just is way faster than the others. But I went 345. But I mean, what can I say about this car? It has an insane backstory behind it, just because McLaren did his thing, Porsche looked at the rule book, and then Mercedes reacted to Porsche. And I think the best race cars are always when rules are like technically, and it's just crazy. But you have just crazy stories where like I said, they take the F1 GTR apart, insane, and then the Toyota GT1, basically a prototype. They're like, hey, technically this is empty space that could be used for storage. It was the fuel tank. Then it ended unceremoniously, at least for Mercedes, with the car flipping over. BMW won Le Mans out of nowhere in '99. So it's just a really interesting, entertaining period. These cars are almost as fast as hypercars. But with that being said, we're going to end the video here. Don't forget to leave a comment. If you notice an improvement in the audio, let me know. I think this is the new way going forward. But Apex out.